Hello everyone, it's Lisa Turner here from Psycademy, and today I want to talk to you about why should we even try and awaken spiritually? Why awaken spiritually? Why bother? Why even be committed and invested in having this experience? So if we think about before you're spiritually awakened, just before that, you're kind of focused on the material world, the real world, the physicality of the world. And what that means is you tend to be a little bit governed by the kind of ego sense and that part of your mind that works on, it's sometimes called the human condition. And it seems to have in it a lot of lack. So that part of your life, you're working on the sense of, in that time of your life, you're working on the place of, from the place of experiencing not enough. So it's not enough time, not enough money, not a good enough job, not enough girlfriends, not a good enough girlfriend or boyfriend, or I haven't got the right partner, or there isn't enough love, there isn't enough sex, there isn't enough time, not enough money. So it's all about not enough. Now, when you awaken spiritually, several things seem to happen. So one of the things that seems to happen is you move beyond that ego mindset of not enough to infinite. Because you're open to and you're aware of and expanded to the infinite, even though it may not be right in front of you, you know, and oh, hi, Corey. You know that there can be enough, that there is enough, and that all you need to do is maybe do some stuff, think differently, take some action, and there will be more than enough because you have this infinite mindset. So one of the things, the first thing that happened when you awaken spiritually is you get this sense of no scarcity, no lack. Then the other thing you have is there's this sense of inner peace. When you are connected to, and it's like you're always connected to your higher self, but when you're aware of your higher self and aware of that connection, you have this sense of inner peace that even no matter how terrible the world that you're looking at seems to be, no matter how bad it looks, everything is actually okay or going to be okay. Now, that doesn't mean someone's pointing a gun at me, but it's all fine. No, you still might, take some action like duck or, I don't know, ask them not to shoot. You still take the action, but there's this sense of having access to an inner resourcefulness that means whatever you're presented with, you will be able to handle, even if, and it doesn't mean you don't sometimes panic and have a freak out moment. Yeah, that will happen, but it will pass more and more quickly. So yes, you'll still have the freak out moments. Sorry, that's just part of the human condition, but they're shorter lived and less frequent. Okay, so you have this sense of inner peace and knowing that everything is going to be okay, even if it's not okay right now, and you're still aware that like, oh, this is definitely not okay, but I'm going to do something about it. So that's the first. So that's the second thing. So so that you lose all scarcity mindset. There's always enough, and this sense of inner peace and everything being okay. You also have, you start to cultivate an increased sense of emotional well-being. All emotions are, all emotions that we'd label negative, so are actually a resistance to love. So if we think of there's only one true emotion in the world or the universe, there's one true energy, and that energy is love. And anything we experience or label as a negative emotion is resistance to love. So now, again, that doesn't mean you're not going to ever feel angry, but the anger will come as providing a source of motivation and action so that you can unblock the feeling of love. What you also get is you get the ability to start releasing and losing those negative emotions from the past. Because I always think there's kind of two sorts of emotions. There's emotions that are from past experiences, so that if you have a memory from the past, which as you think about it now triggers a negative emotion, that's emotional baggage from the past. Now, with what we do here in Psycademy, we have some really powerful spiritual technologies that just release the emotions from the past. What you're then left with is feeling emotions in the present. And those emotions you feel in the present, there still might be something that we might want to label negative, but they're always our experience of love, and they're always based on what's happening right now. So that means that you don't get triggered by past events, but what you do is, you know what, if someone's punching you in the face, you might still want to go, you know what, just cut it out. No, just enough of the punching. Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. Or you might say, bring it on if you're into that kind of thing. I have no judgment. But there's this sense of increased emotional well-being. So that's the third thing that happens when you awaken spiritually. The other thing that happens is you also get an increased physical well-being, because part of spiritual awakening is you raise your awareness, and you raise your awareness of what you are doing to and with your physical body that either supports it and sustains it, or it degrades it and depletes you energetically and physically. So, you know, it's probably fairly well known that if you take no exercise and sat on the sofa and ate chocolate all day, every day, that probably wouldn't be good for your physical well-being. And as you awaken spiritually, you start to become more drawn to foods and activities and lifestyle choices that serve and support the physical body, and you find yourself repelled from those that don't support your physical well-being. So you just get healthier. Now, it's not like a magic switch being flicked. It seems to be like a gradual turning up, and you get more and more and more aware of what supports your physical body. You find it easier to make those choices, versus it's like, we all know that, taking exercise and eating healthily is good for us, but many of us don't find that easy. And the reason we don't find it easy, because it feels like we're having to make ourselves do something that fundamentally doesn't feel easy. Versus when you're spiritually awakened, it's like you just naturally find yourself making those choices. It just feels easier. It's like you want to eat better. You want to eat foods that serve you. And when you do eat foods that might be labeled as not good for you, like ice cream or cream teas. Here I live in Cornwall, and that's our staple diet throughout the summer. Right? That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner is ice cream and cream teas. Well, actually, not breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we eat a lot of it right down here. It's available. And those times when you do choose it, it's still okay. It's like, you know what? I can go down the beach and have an ice cream and be totally okay with that, because I'm able to assimilate that. And you're able to assimilate that more easily when you're on a more regular basis making healthier choices, and when you decide to make what might be considered a less healthy choice, you're able to assimilate it more. So it actually doesn't become an unhealthy choice. So that's the next thing. Now, the other thing is, that's really, really important, that happens when you awaken spiritually, is somehow you get a sense of what your life purpose might be, like what your mission, goal, purpose in life might be. And it's not a job, and I've talked about this on other videos, but you get a sense of why you're here and what you're called to do. Now, that in itself is fantastic, but it also leads to lots of other things. So one of the things it leads to is, I've lost count now. I don't know where I'm up to. We'll do a recheck at the end. But it leads to making it easier to make decisions. Easier to make decisions, because if you know what you're here to do, either this choice will support that or it will distract you. Either it is in alignment or it's out of alignment. Now, if you don't know what you're here to do, or you know but you don't feel you can live it, so if you've got both of those, you know what you're here to do, and you know you can do that, then every choice just becomes an easy and simple one. It's like, this isn't in alignment. This is in alignment. So I would say probably, I don't know, a couple of times a month, somebody pops up with a, one of those kind of multi-level marketing, you can do something on the side kind of businesses. And I have always, I won't say I will always say no, because I don't know what's going to be in alignment. But so far, everyone that I've been presented with, whether it's running doing a little selling travel agent, travel tickets, or Herbalife, or the aloe vera stuff, or the Melaleuca, or the, whatever the makeup stuff is, whatever it is, it's like, it's always not in alignment. It's always out of alignment. So it's been really easy. It's like, you can tell me to the cows come home how much money I'm going to make and how easy it is. If it's not in alignment, it doesn't matter. Which brings me to the next thing of that. So spiritual awakening helps you find and helps you realize your life purpose, because actually you don't need to find it. You already know it. You just need to remind yourself what it is. So it helps you know what your life's purpose is. Make decisions more easily, because they're either in alignment with your purpose or they're out of alignment. And then it also helps you to So it kind of goes right back to the beginning when I was talking about that sense of lack. Because when you're in alignment with your purpose, you tend to find you are giving greater value to your clients or to your employer. And because you're giving greater value, even if it's in what you're currently doing, so you might stay in the same job, but because you know what your purpose is and you know this job, that the elements that are in alignment with your purpose, you're able to give even greater value. And as a result, you tend to get more money. So it's not that spiritual awakening equals more money. Spiritual awakening, knowing what your purpose is, delivering more value, tends to increase the amount that people will want to pay you. It just tends to happen. So, you know, there's a lot of disclaimers I should probably be giving here right now, but it tends to follow. Also, it's like going back to that sense of there's no longer a sense of lack because you're giving more value, and you know that when you deliver more value, that it's your divine right, and you feel more comfortable charging for that. You lose any sense of like if you have no sense of lack, right? You will have lost the sense of lack in others or for others. So when somebody comes to you and says, oh, I really want that thing that you do, but I want you to do it for free because I don't have any money, you won't be like, that's a lack mindset. And when you're spiritually awakening and you continue that awakening journey, what that means is you will not allow yourself to perceive lack in another. It's like you will know that the only reason they could perceive that lack is because they don't have that sense of inner peace. They're out of alignment. They don't know how to deliver value because they don't know what their value is. And then you'll help them to move beyond that. And that doesn't mean you just give it away for free, whatever the thing is that you're being asked to give away for free. So, oh, I'm getting lots of likes. Yeah, I should say that. If you like this, like it. And if you love it, click the lovey thing. And if you think other people would benefit, hit the sharey thing, because we all like that. Let's spread the message, eh? So where have we got to? We've got spiritual awakening, lose your sense of scarcity, sense of inner peace, increased emotional well-being, increased physical well-being, find your life's purpose from 5, easier to make decisions, have greater abundance. And it's greater abundance in everything, because here's the thing, spiritually awakened people, it's not just money. Like, yeah, you can give more value, so financial abundance can increase, but it's more abundance, more wealth in every area of your life, because spiritually awakened people tend to be more joyful. So you get that sense of inner joy, which is actually a point in itself. But I think about it. Who do you want to hang around with? Do you want to hang around with the really miserable, depressed people who moan and groan? I mean, you know, no judgment on depression, but it's the depressing people who, like, fundamentally their life's okay, but they just moan and groan about everything. And they're just, you know, they're bitching, whining, sniping, and they drag you down. Or do you want to hang around with the person who says, wow, you know what, the world isn't perfect, but we could do this, or we could do that, or let's do this. And then they do it. And so they're inspiring, they're exciting, they're fun, they're charismatic, they're joyful. So spiritual awakening tends to cause you to become more magnetic to your soulmate, to that ideal partner, to attracting your beloved, to more friends, closer friends, more deeply connected to the friends that you have. So you just find that you have more love in your life for everyone, including yourself. So I think that's 8 now we're up to. And I think we'll call this the last one. Oh, actually, yeah. So, and more joy. So you have a greater sense of joy when you. So I've got 2 more, right? And then we'll have 10. That'll be our 10, right? So we're on 9 now. So when you awaken spiritually, you find that life is more joyful. You just find there's more joy in life because you have that sense of there's no lack. You know your purpose. It's like knowing your purpose, right, and living it is in itself joyful. So you just have way more joy. You have a greater sense of joy in life, in every moment of life. So more joy. And finally, the last one, when you have that, when you are spiritually awakening, you have this sense of acceptance and willingness to change what you don't choose to accept. So you have this sense of you have a desire to make the world a better place. So you are able to make a difference. So it's acceptance of what is and choice to change what you don't want to accept. So you are able to make a bigger, brighter, more powerful, more compelling impact on the world. Because with that spiritual vision, with that awakened vision, you know what's possible. You know it's possible for other people. You know it's possible for yourself, and you want that for others. So, you know, there's a lot of coaches out there, and there's a lot of coaching. The whole coaching industry is about, you know, follow your desires. Well, you know what? Hitler did that, right? So I don't know that just following your desires, following, you know, what you want and having everything you desire is necessarily a great thing. But when you're spiritually awakened, your desires are in alignment with the greater good, what is good for all. And so when you have that, when you have all of those things that come with spiritual awakening, you want to make a difference, and you do make a difference because you see the thing that wants to be changed, and you go and you make steps, you take the steps, you take the action to start changing it, whether it's your own life, whether it's others. But you start to take that real responsibility. So maybe I'm going to give you your bonus 11 here. That when you start to awaken spiritually, you definitely get more, I don't like necessarily the word control, but if I can get a better word, but it's like you get more influence over your own life. You're able to control, and you have greater choice. Because an unawakened person, they only see what's here in front of them, what's here and now. And it's like, if all you can see is problems and you can't see the solutions, which a spiritually awakened person sees, then you get very stuck. And you feel like you're stuck, there's no option. And that's what actually leads to depression. But when you're spiritually awakened, what happens then is you're able to make that difference, create that change, and really, really impact the world in a powerful, powerful way. So you can see the options. So you have that greater level of choice. So you can make changes in your life if you choose. And you may think, I don't need to change anything because I'm happy right now. And then tomorrow you might wake up and go, yep, I can make it even better. I can make it better for someone else. I can make it better for myself. And finally, here's your bonus 12. 12 reasons why spiritual awakening is fantastic, why it's important. And it's this. Spiritual awakening never stops. It never stops. It goes on and on forever. If you think about source energy being infinite, how could it ever be that somebody in the human form could have, I'm full of source energy. That's it. I got all the source energy I can take. I can't go any further, right? Source energy doesn't work like that. Source energy will just cause you to evolve even further. In fact, one of the most dangerous things that anyone can ever say is, I'm already awakened, I'm done. You know, I see spirit orbs and talk to dead people, so that's it, nothing more to be done here. Well, there is. There's more to it than spirit orbs and speaking to dead people. Because spiritual awakening goes on and on and on until you're so expanded that you become the universe. You become aware of the universe. Now, I haven't actually done that in my life right now, just yet. So I haven't actually, sorry, just turning off my phone there. I haven't actually achieved that yet. I don't know if it's even possible to achieve. But spiritual awakening goes on and on. So, till next time, my loves, I'm going to go see who that phone call was. Till next time, my loves. If you like this video, click the like. If you love it, click the love. And if you want to share it, click the share. Till next time, lots of love. Bye for now.